Our society is slowed down right now in the context of our society, but there's some problems that are that have a durability and a resonance that exist even in these contexts. Here's video. It is taken by a guy. This is in Central Park in New York City.
Oh my God.
The video is taken by a guy named Christian Cooper, and he is a birder, right? Apparently there's a lot of birds around now for whatever reason. I think there's less pollution. No, but I'm not quite sure if it's tied to anything about what's happening in society, or it's just like some years there's more birds. But there's a lot of birders in New York. You know, they go into Central Park and they look at different birds. That's okay. And
love how you're like, that's okay.
Yeah,
They're just birds. They're not staring at anything else.
No, but I'm saying that's not like it's
a pastime.
Yeah, sure.
It's better than shooting them.
It's definitely better than shooting them. And so there's a place in Central Park called the Ramble. And the Ramble is like, I guess, like a bird. I don't know if it's a sanctuary or what, specific sanctuary, but that's like the area where people go birding. And you're supposed to keep your dogs on a leash because dogs and birds don't mix. If you have a dog, you know that they will go after birds occasionally. And so there's Christian Cooper's in there. He sees a woman. Her name is Amy Cooper. No relationship, no relation at all. Apparently, though, this Amy Cooper has been going around, has, often seen in the Ramble with her dog off a leash. And so he said, could you please put a leash on your dog? And then this ensues.
Would you please stop? Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to me.
I'm taking a picture and calling the cops.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
Oh my God.
Excuse me?
It's a poor dog.
Yeah, look at the dog.
She's just like hitting him. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I'm in the Ramble, and there is a man, African-American, he has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog. There is an African-American man, I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog.
Oh my God, this dog. I can't watch it.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the Ramble. Please send the cops immediately. I'm in Central Park in the Ramble. I don't know.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, and notice what he does. Thank you after she puts the leash on the dog. Now, this is there's so many societal problems just within the confines of that video. But also, it turns out this Amy Cooper is what is her job, Brendan?
He works at Franklin Templeton Investments as she has a very convoluted title, but I'll pull that up right now. She is the head of Franklin Templeton Insurance Investment Solutions.
Okay, so there's a lot of people, I think a significant number of people seem to be working under her, and she's making all sorts of advisory things. And the point being that she immediately, it's not, there's somebody there who's threatening me, right? Because that's like, okay, she's just being, a loon, and she's upset that she got caught with her dog off the leash. The guy is not moving near her. In fact, he's saying, don't come near me.
Right.
Because
literally.
I don't want to get coronavirus.
Yeah.
So there's no real threat. It's quite clear. If that is the end of the escalation, as it were, there's obviously no threat. She knows this, but she also knows that as a white woman in Central Park, she can leverage the fact that he is black, and if like in the last time that she talks, she's like talking almost as if she's literally being attacked.
Yes, her voice was amplifying. Like,
yes,
she's
This
nuts. She's got to be like,
Performance.
it's totally
It's
performance.
performance.
It's a
And-
narcissistic. Yeah.
and if she knows this in that moment and leverages this, like, what is she doing in the course of her job in one of these big financial outlets? Like, what is she doing in the rest of her life? I mean, what is she doing that what circles does she live in and work in,
Right.
that she knows that this is being videotaped and she's doing this and she's calling in to 911 in this situation? Like, how much of her life experience tells her what her privilege is and what his is not, and what she
She's
can get away with?
conscious of it. That's what's so crazy. She's manipulating the fact that she's conscious of her privilege. It's not like, I mean, not that there's ever justification for this, but it's like she's so aware of what she's doing and how the NYPD is going to respond in Central Park and exacerbating it with her voice that it's all a manipulation. It's like a sociopathic manipulation of the situation. Well, I
It
mean,
is
do we know what
nuts.
happened? Do we know if the cops arrived? If this guy...
I don't know if they arrived. I do know this, that she is on now CNN since the video came out, saying that her life is being ruined. Contemplate what happens if the cops show up,
Right.
thinking that a woman is being attacked in Central Park. Like, what could happen to this guy? And the idea that she's complaining about her life
Right.
being ruined, she did everything she could to put this guy's, not only ruin his life, but to, I mean, a legitimate potential to end his life. Like, I'm being
We're asking
attacked.
for a leash. A leash.
I-
'Cause she's in a mood and she doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, it's murder by proxy, or
Right.
attempted murder by proxy. I think.
It is so, I mean, this is like, it's like
You should
swatting.
sue her.
It's like
You should
swatting,
sue
but
her.
worse. Oh, I mean, I think she's going to have criminal charges pressed against her, because you can't
False.
you can't just use the police as your personal conflict resolution thing
Right.
by pretending you're being attacked. There is no definition of the word attacked where you could apply it to that situation. And then, you know, the bottom line is, for Black people, I would imagine particularly Black males, going through life, like, this is an implicit threat in all of these situations that white person might do it. I mean, this goes back, you know, this is the lynching dynamic.
Yes.
I don't like what you're doing here, and so I'm going to use the authorities to come and get you.
Right. Right.
And
you can't
so
breathe. You cannot breathe. You can't be
It's-
in presence. You can't speak out of fear of she's in a testy mood and she wants to use this dynamic against him. I mean, what's really frustrating about this is it's like there's all this reporting right now. She's so manipulative. She clearly understands, obviously, the NYPD has a racist history, but especially right now during Corona, they're targeting Black and brown communities, targeting people in ways that white communities are not being targeted for social distancing violations, for not wearing masks, whatever, you know, the rules are right now in the city. And de Blasio is under pressure. So I think, like, if there's a way to flip this story, I think it's to flip the pressure back on de Blasio to address these issues, because meanwhile, you have privileged white racists in the city that exist that are using it for their own benefit.
yeah, it's absolutely, I just, that was nuts. I hope that, I mean, I hope that she faces criminal charges on that.
Yeah. Bird sanctuary. Unreal.
Unbelievable. I mean, totally believable, but still shocking, I guess, is really the best way to say that.